Hello, my name is Kerrilyn Cooper. This is my language arts video presentation for EDUC 632, Spring Semester D, 2021. The topic of my presentation is Oral Language, Listening and Talking from Chapter 4 of the Tompkins textbook. The learning outcomes for this presentation are 1. To develop skills for aesthetic, efferent, and critical listening, and to develop speaking skills for both small and large group settings where the student is a listener as well as a speaker. According to the text, there are 4 types of listening. Aesthetic listening is one listens for enjoyment. Efferent listening means that one is listening for understanding. Critical listening is when one listens to evaluate. The 4th type of listening is discriminative, which is discriminating between sounds. That is not part of this topic presentation. Speaking skills. Speaking is an integral part of language arts. The ability to converse, take turns talking and listening, respond to questions, resolve conflict, and generally engage in human communication is an essential skill for all students. In my research on this topic, I selected 2 journal articles that highlight storytelling as a way for students to develop their speaking and listening skills. The effect of storytelling at school on children's oral and written language abilities and self-perception by Wright and Dunsmuir, and Language-Rich Early Childhood Classroom, Simple but Powerful Beginnings by E. Flynn. Storytelling. Storytelling has long been used as a means of passing along history, morals, and culture. It is also a form of entertainment. It follows that storytelling is inherently a tool of memory, which is a valuable tool for learning. This applies to our language arts learning objectives of listening and speaking in the following ways. Listening. Storytelling in the classroom engages students in aesthetic listening, as it is enjoyable to hear another person's story. Efferent listening, meaning that the students are actively taking in what they hear to understand the message. And finally, when listening to a story, students engage in critical listening, where not only do they understand what they are hearing, but are able to evaluate the message and develop their own thoughts on it. Listening learning objectives. Predicting. In any listening exercise, the students should practice predicting. As they listen, what do they think will happen next? This involves critical thinking. A teacher telling a story can stop and ask the students what they think will happen next. A student who is telling the story may also do this, or they may wait until the end and the students can share what their predictions were. Listening, learning objectives, visualizing. As the story is being told, students should endeavor to paint a mental picture of what they are hearing. This aids in comprehension. Listening, learning objectives, connecting. Students make 3 types of connections while listening. The first is to self, connecting the story to their own life. The second is a world connection, where they relate the story to the world around them. And the third is to other stories, where the listener makes the connection to other stories they may have heard. Speaking through storytelling. In a storytelling circle, it is the students who are telling the stories. The topic may be selected by the teacher, or the student may choose to share something of their own. This can be a family story, something about their culture or holiday celebrations, or perhaps a retelling of their favorite bedtime story. Speaking, learning objectives. The learning objectives for the storyteller include promoting communication skills, such as proper speaking volume and prosody, self-confidence, and critical thinking skills. The student must be able to organize his or her thoughts and put them into words that their peers will understand. Differentiation. Storytelling is easy to adapt to the many types of learners in the classroom. Stories can be as long or short as dictated by the teacher's evaluation of the student's ability. The child who is advanced has the ability to add to their story with props or theater. The child who is an English language learner has an opportunity to share a story in their own language, and with the help of a translator, retell that story in English. This concludes my presentation on oral language, listening and talking. In this presentation, I have discussed the desired learning outcomes of aesthetic, efferent, and critical listening skills and speaking skills developed through oral communication in the form of personal storytelling. This language arts topic is one that can be adapted to many types of students, and research shows that exercises in storytelling aids in communication, comprehension, and critical thinking. Thank you.